Wonder Woman director Patty Jenkins confirms return to Star Wars, says she's back on doing Rogue Squadron. This story comes to us from Spencer Bakuli over at Bounding Into Comics. In providing further proof to the theory that Disney's cinematic production efforts are in a complete shamble across the board, Wonder Woman duology director Patty Jenkins has revealed that her previously canceled Star Wars Rogue Squadron film is back in development. That's right. It's almost like they're trying to sell this thing. Isn't that weird? So Jenkins says this, quote, I am always, like I say, I am always sort of outside of myself, watching myself at the same time, where I'm like, wow, I guess you're going to do this. I never thought I would find a home in tentpole films. Like, that's not a thing I thought I would do. Yeah, sure. That's why you were doing Wonder Woman 3, right? However, despite her feigned ignorance to her future projects, Jenkins then recalled, when I left Star Wars to do Wonder Woman 3, and I went and I started working on that, we talked about, okay, well, maybe I'll come back to Star Wars after Wonder Woman 3. That it was then that Jenkins revealed that thanks to James Gunn and Peter Safran freeing up her schedule, having deep sixed Wonder Woman 3, she now found herself back in the pilot seat for Rogue Squadron. That's great, right? We're all happy about that. Woohoo. Quote, they have a hard job in front of them. What's the first movie they're going to do? They have other directors who have been working, but I'm back on doing Rogue Squadron. When pressed for further details, Jenkins declared, absolutely, absolutely, Star Wars is the emotion of Star Wars and what it stands for is something so beautiful in this world. Star Wars was born out of World War II, right? It's born out of how do you make a metaphor and talk about a metaphor. And so in that way, I've always wanted to make a fighter pilot movie. It's been a dream of mine. I had a hard time with it because I'm in love with the jets of the 70s and 80s, and that's not where the great dogfight stories are. And so, Star Wars becomes a great playground for that. I think Star Wars is beautiful. So yes, if I can do something beautiful and do something that serves that audience and is great, I would love to do that. However, at the time of this writing, Disney nor Lucasfilm has confirmed that Rogue Squadron rather, is in any stage of production other than Patty Jenkins is back apparently, which is great news for people who wanted this movie. But with Disney's track record, what can you expect? Especially with the news that we found out about what's going on with the Marvel Cinematic Universe and the mess with the new Daredevil script, huh? So be sure to hit like and subscribe as we'll continue to follow what's going on with the Star Wars Rogue Squadron. I'll get it right eventually. The Rogue Squadron film that's coming out sometime in the next 5-10 years, maybe, unless it gets canceled again. But I don't know. You tell me down in the comments, does this feel like Disney's trying to polish up Star Wars to sell it? It kind of feels like that to me, especially after we found out that Warner Brothers is doing the same thing with DC.